Or you gotta explain to people how the process works here.
Well, what process?
What's that?
That's Audacity, and it's a software. It's a freeware recording software that we use to record live performances.
So explain how the process works.
Well, basically, we lay down either guitar tracks or vocal tracks or both, and then normally we'll go back and save it as a bass line in Audacity, come back and lay other tracks as far as lead guitar, bass, or vocals.
What's going on up there? What's all that equipment?
This is the CD player and receiver and effects box that we use for these two microphones right here, which basically send a signal through this Fender amplifier to give us certain singing effects that we
Now we're noticing a lot of people are writing in about this. It seems to be there's some tape or some sort of. There's a lot of things that are going on in this studio.
Well, I mean,
there's
really flurry of activity. We're usually doing a lot of work and laying tracks down.
We're seeing a lot of it appears to people that it's not quite standard.
Well,
code.
It's not. I mean, standard code. Well, it's our way of creating music in a cheap fashion. We're creating art in this room.
Another question that our viewers have wanted to ask was if you could just pick up those headphones over there. They were curious about the apparatus.
There's a very good explanation and story for this. What happened was this had been damaged when the room was remodeled in the last year or so. These headphones were inadvertently damaged. So what we did is we took a George Foreman spatula.
That would be, if you will. Can you point that out?
Yes. This unit right here.
What
we used that as a splint-like object to strengthen the side of the speaker headphone that was broken.
That's a very good idea. That's a very good idea. Yeah.
So it's really high-tech equipment. I mean, it's not like we're piecing stuff together to get things done. We're really trying to be very respectful to the art and try to use professional equipment to get this music project done.
Okay, well let's move along. We had another viewer question about this amplifier here. That we see that there's a piece of tape apparently covering. Can you explain what's going on here?
It's a long story with that.
Okay.
Now what happened was we were having some interference and losing a signal basically with our input.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So what was happening was we had too much. As you can see, this octopus here of chords. If you see that, this is generally not accepted in the music business. So what we did was we had to remove that jack from the amp and resolder in the jack from this.
I would assume that jack was in bad shape. It must have been wobbling a lot.
It was. And there was no signal really coming through the mics into the amp.
I wouldn't feel bad about that. That's a common problem.
What we did is we just taped over what we took out.
So you took out.
It's not really exactly a professional fix, but it is a functional fix.
Right. So, wow. Well.
Yep.
Wow. So you've got you've got quite the apparatus going on here.
If you notice the foam, backwards, forwards, we use that for sound deadening. That's really high technical equipment, and what it does basically is creates an atmosphere that is completely, perfectly acoustic for our needs. So,
well, there you go.
That's what happened.
So this is the Purple Dwarf Tower. This is where the magic happens.
This is the layer where all this magic happens.
Wow.
Yep.
This is quite a setup. I really have to say, I've been in a lot of studios.
Really?
And you guys you have it going on.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, you're technically.
That's good to hear. That's what we want.
You are technically spry.
Right.
And musically agile.
You know, we feel that we're actually a step above in the process of recording. I mean, a lot of people will hire this out, because they have money to throw around, basically. But we figured a more financially savvy way to do it was to do it ourselves.
Well,
and to do that, I mean, we've really cut the dollars. We've watched our bills and cents and really cut it down to a real. Generic situation.
Well, we thank you so much for having us here. I know your time is limited, and you guys are, you have so many albums and so many projects, basically, that for you to take the time just for this little walkthrough.
Between originals and covers, really, we really don't have the hours and days
Wow.
to get it all done.
The one last question, I see this, it appears to be a beer can over there. Could you go over there and
That's a long story
explain
too.
what's going on
what
here?
That is,
Yeah.
this is a simulator. This is a simulator. It's an acoustic 1930s official RCA Victor voice simulator.
So a physical audio replicator kind of.
It is a replicator.
Translator.
We felt that as the dented can gives us the perfect acoustic measure to replicate.
Can you just make some noise with that to give the viewers?
Boy, I'm talking on the river.
A little bit of Fred Astaire maybe?
Yeah, like a Fred Astaire.
Wow, Victrola.
Early Victrola.
Okay.
The crank style recorders.
Right.
This is the replicator.
And this was something that you came across by specifications, or
this is one of a kind. I mean, this is not. You can't replace this.
Oh.
So this is one of a kind instrument right here, and it really does a magical job.
So if someone were to want to replicate that, to use what you found out, would you be able to?
They could try. I don't think they'd be able to replicate the sound.
They wouldn't have the skill,
volume, or skill set to create this.
Yeah, there's a lot of
cracks and bends.
There's craftsmanship going on.
It's deliberate. This is not an
you look
accident.
at the bottom. You look at the bottom of this thing, and then as you work up along the instrument,
look at that.
this manifold piece is very, very intricate. So I would imagine it would take.
You know what's interesting about this piece is most people would look at it and say, well, you'd cut the top completely off. No.
Oh.
That's a big misnomer in this business. This is an important piece of creating the vibrato that is needed to replicate the RC Victor of the 1920s.
It helps recreate the ethos of the moment.
Yes.
Is what it,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Well,
And it's really been. It's really changed the directions of where we've went with music, and it's irreplaceable, really. I mean,
well, I want to thank you for your time to answer all of your questions.
Problem. I mean, if there's anything else we can help you with, I mean, like I said, we're extremely busy, but we feel like we want to be a part of the community. This is not a project that is just about music. This is about changing lives.
It is. It is really. In the end, when you think about it, what's really important? It's about life. Life and love.
Right. And beer.
Amen.